G'day and welcome to another video. In today's lesson we're going to learn how to make this really cool hat. I love the basket weave stitch and today we're going to use it to make a hat. This hat can be made in any size. I would rate this project as an easy plus. As long as you can do front and back post stitches, you are going to be able to make this project. There is a free written pattern for this located on my website. Links will be in the description box. I would like to say a huge thank you to Catherine from the Australian Wool Store for supplying the yarn for this project. This yarn is a beautiful superfine merino yarn, and let me tell you, it is so soft and squishy. Make sure you subscribe because there's always video tutorials coming out. Join me on Facebook and Instagram. Let's get started on the lesson. For our supplies, we're going to need a yarn needle with a large eye, a pair of scissors, a tape measure, a crochet hook to go with your yarn. My yarn recommends a 4mm crochet hook, but I've got quite loose tension, so I'm just going to go down a crochet hook size, but this would usually recommend a G for this type of yarn. I'd like to say a huge thank you to Catherine for supplying the yarn in this video tutorial. Catherine is from the Australian Wool Store and has supplied some Australian superfine merino. This is an 8-ply yarn. It's also known as DK or a number 3 if you're in America. Number 3 weight yarn. You can see there it's 117 meters or 50 grams. Let's just pull this label out. I've got to pull it out anyway because I need to use the ball yarn. And you can see here that it recommends a 4mm crochet hook or knitting needle, which is a US 6 or a size G. What else we got? Oh, and the colour is green peas. I think they're so cute, that name. I love it. So we're going to need 2 balls for this project if you're making a adult size. This is 100 grams of yarn. It's approximately 3.5 ounces of yarn in a DK weight. With one 50-gram ball, and I still have this left over, and the size that I have made is a newborn to 3 months. This project can be made in any thickness of yarn, but today I've chosen this beautiful yarn. It is so soft and squishy. So now that our ball is naked, we are ready to start the project. Just got to find an end. I'm so used to pulling from the outside, I'm not sure where to look. Pretty sure that's the wrong spot. Uh-oh. There we go, found it. For a minute there I thought I was going to have a lot of yarn from it. Oh, this is so lovely. So I want to apologise, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but my fingernails are a bit, like that's a bit brown or a bit yellow. It's not my actual fingernails. I was wearing gardening gloves yesterday and they got wet and they're brown leather, and little did I know that the dye was going to come off. And I've scrubbed and scrubbed and it will not come off. So we're going to start with the slip knot. And this project you can use a foundation single crochet for the band of the hat, or you can use a chain and then join and then single crochet into that chain. I am going to use a foundation single crochet. I think it looks nicer. Personally, I think it looks a bit neater than when you just do a chain. If you would like a detailed video of how to do a single crochet foundation stitch, I will put a link and it's going to pop up here, and that will show you a bit more detail than what I'm going to show you in this one. But I do suggest that you try and learn it because it does come in handy for a lot of things and it does look a lot neater. So we chain 2 into the very first chain. We're going to put our crochet hook in, pull up a loop. We're going to do a chain, so 1 chain, and then we're going to pull through. We're going to go back into the chain, and this is where the other video I've got is a lot more detailed. It takes it a lot slower. When you go into the chain, which is here, you're going to go through 2 loops. You're going to pull through, you're going to make your chain, and then you're going to make a single crochet. Go back into the chain, got 2 loops just here, pull through, and when you pull through, if there's not like a V, if your yarn's not coming out of the middle of the V there, let me get my little pointy stick, aka yarn needle, that V there, if this strand is not coming out of there, there's something wrong and you need to start it. Just pull that stitch out and do it again. So now I've forgotten where I'm up to. Go in, pull up, make your chain, and then do your single crochet. Pull through, make a chain, complete the single crochet. You want to make enough of these, and if you don't know the head measurement you're making it for, I will put a link in the description box of this video, and that will show you head sizes. I'm going to make probably about a 3-month-old. Makes my videos go a lot quicker, and also the crochet goes a lot quicker for me. But you can make this any size. You can make it from newborn up to adults. When we make our foundation chain, which is what we're doing here, or if you're just making a normal chain, you want to do it in multiples of 8. So that means we do 8, so let's pretend that's 8. Is that big enough to go around someone's head? Unless you're an ant, probably not. So you add another 8 stitches, and you keep going until you have the measurement that you need to go around the head that you're making it for. It does need to be in multiples of 8 because we are going to use the 4-stitch basket weave pattern. So that's why we need 8, because we need 4 for the front post and then 4 for the back post. So continue on making your chain or your foundation chain like I am doing. And so pause the video and I'll meet you when we are ready to do the first round and we've finished all the stitches that we do. Just a reminder, it does need to be in multiples of 8. So I finished my foundation single crochet and I want mine to be 14 inches, which is just there. This pattern, because it's worked with front and back post stitches, does shrink a little when you make your chain. If you made just a normal chain, you are going to join as well, and you are going to make sure that it's all facing the same way. It is easier if you lay it down on a flat surface and then it's much easier like that. If you're using the chain method, I will put a link up here and that will help you to know how to not get your chain twisted, because if you twist your chain or your foundation row, it's going to be twisted when you crochet it and it's not going to sit flat. So once it's all the same direction, you're going to pick it back up, and I'm actually going to join to the very first single crochet, not the chain that's down here, because I've counted my stitches from that first single crochet. Pick my yarn back up and I'm going to do a slip stitch through there. If you are doing just the chain method, you are going to slip stitch to the first chain, making sure it's not twisted, and I'm pretty sure it shows you in the video link that I just put on the screen how to join. If you're not, you're just going to go in the first chain, which will kind of just look the same as that little bit there. It'll just be a little chain, little hole, put your crochet hook in and slip stitch and join it. So we're going to have a thread down here and we'll use that to sew up the gap if we've got one at all. It's not too bad with a single crochet, but you will have like a little funny gap there, and then you can use the thread there to sew it up. If you don't have a very long thread, you can always just join one in, that's no problem. I don't know if I told you, I have 56 foundation single crochets. If I was using the chain method, I would have 56 chains. But you may have a different amount, but that's totally fine. Because we've done it in multiples of 8, it's going to work with this pattern. So we're going to start with a chain 2, and it does not count as a stitch now and throughout the whole pattern. So whenever we do a chain 2, it's not really a stitch, it's just to get us to the right level to start our foundation stitches. So we're going to front post double crochet around the next 4 stitches. So we're going to chain 2. This will get trapped in the next round, so you won't even know it's there. And we're going to work 4 front post double crochets around. We're going to work 1 front post double crochet around the next 4 stitches. So if you've never done a front post double crochet before, you're going to yarn over as normal. Normally we'd go into the top of the stitch up here, but we're going to go around the post of the stitch on the previous row. Sorry, on the previous round. For us it's a single crochet, so we're going to go behind the single crochet, pull behind the single crochet, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. It's like doing a normal double crochet, except we're just working around the post. See how there's a hole there and a hole there? Go in the one on the right, around the back, out the one on the left, and then just pull that yarn around the back and complete your stitch as normal. It's not very hard, it's just a bit different than when you work a normal double crochet. So that's 3 stitches, and then we need to do 1 more for front post section. The next part of the pattern, we do 1 back post double crochet around the next 4 stitches. So now instead of working from the front of our work, we're going to work around the back. So yarning over for our double crochet around the next stitch. So we've done this one because it's coming out. Next one is here. We're going to work around the back, and you've still got that right and left hole there, but this time we're going to go from the back of the work. So just hold that loop on so it stays around the back, and then into that left hole around the front of that stitch, and then pull through. I find back post double crochets a bit trickier than the front post. I don't know if that's just me. Did anybody else have that problem? I would say trickier, maybe slower to work than a front post. What was that for? Yep. So you've got 4 front, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 back, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the repeat for this pattern. So the next part we do 4 front posts because we just did back post. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, which is here. You're going to go from the front and work your front post double crochet. You want to do 4 of those all together. Sorry, that didn't make sense. That actually might have confused you. Not all together. 4 stitches, 1 in each for the next 4. So at the moment it doesn't really stand out, but as we go along it's really going to stand out and look really cool. So we've got 4 front, now we need to do 4 back. And we're going to repeat this all the way around until we get to the end of our row, end of our round. Really, really loving this yarn. It's so soft when it goes through your fingers. Soft yarn. Australian merino is very, very nice. So that was 4 back. So yeah, you can kind of see it starting to form a pattern. Kind of. Continue on, pause the video, and I'll meet you when we are ready up around this side and we're ready to join. So we've come around and we're ready to join, and this last section should be a back post double crochet, because these ones here are front post double crochets, so that will continue on with the pattern. So now what we want to do is join. We are going to ignore the chain 2 and we're going to join into the top of the very first front post double crochet. We're going to join with a slip stitch. Oops. So we are going to complete another round, and it's going to be exactly what we did before. So see how we've done front post, back post, front post. We're going to look at what we did on the row below, or you can read the written pattern and we can see what we need to do. So we're going to chain 2, and the first front post double crochet is worked around the chain 2 and the first stitch. So see that chain 2 that's there, and that's our first stitch. We're going to front post, and we're going to go around the chain 2 and also the first stitch. And if you can, just poke that chain 2 to the back. The next 3 stitches we're going to work a front post double crochet. So it'll be a lot easier to do your post stitches now, because the double crochet is a lot taller than the single crochet round that we did. So it's 4 front. Now we need to do 4 back. So going around the back of the stitch, working around the post. Oops. Got another 4 stitches and they're front posts, so we need to do front posts around those. And we're just going to continue this around. So we've got front post. These rounds are quite easy because we're just reading what we did below. It's just when we need to swap it out over that we need to concentrate. So this is round 3. And round 4, we want to do the exact same thing. So we're completing round 3, so we're going to continue around, and then we're going to slip stitch to that first front post double crochet like we did on the previous round. And then we're going to repeat this round again. So pause the video, and when we come back, we'll have so we'll have 1, 2, 3. We'll have 4 rounds all together because this is our third round. Single crochet was our first, and then we're doing our first round of double crochet and we're on our second, so that's our 3rd round. I'm looking at my pattern, it's got the wrong numbers, so it's confusing me. I need to edit it. It won't be wrong when you see it. So yeah, when we come back we'll have 3 rounds of the double crochet front post stitches plus our single crochet round. Pause the video and I'll see you then. Round 5 we can chain 2, and this time we're going to do a back post double crochet around the next 4 stitches, so it's opposite to what we have been doing for the last 3 rounds, because we've got 1, 2 and 3 rounds of our front post. So we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to go around the back, and we're going to trap that chain 2 which is just there. And we're going to go around to the next space, which is here. And then work our back post double crochet. And then we're going to do 4 front post double crochet. I love the ridges that this leaves on those back posts. So now, because we need to do the opposite, these are back posts with the ridges, we need to do 4 front post double crochets. And you can see the stitch kind of disappears behind, so it's just grabbing that post there and working around it. So again, we've got 2 more front post. And these are our front post stitches, so we need to do back post stitches around these ones. Oh, tricky. Back post. Trap for new players. I'm going to do the opposite. and we work that for 4 stitches. And we want to do 4 altogether. So you can see how now it's starting to change. Just there, it's starting to there. Front post, where these were back posts. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. So we've just done our back post stitches, and now we want to do 4 front posts. This round we're doing the opposite. So it's only just that one round that we do opposite, because the next 2 rounds are going to be the same as what we've just done, because we need to create the height with the stitches. So pause the video and I will see you when we are ready to join this round. When we get to the end, you are going to finish on a front post, because these stitches here are back posts, the beginning of the round. And we're going to join to the very first double crochet. So we're going to join with a slip stitch. So rounds 6 and 7, and if you don't want to keep count, it's just the next 2 rounds are going to be exactly the same as what we just did. So chain 2, and you can see here it's a back post because it's at the back of the work, it's behind the work, so we're going to do back post, and then front post, because we can see we've got front post stitches there because they're at the front of the work. So this round and the next round are exactly the same. So we've got to do back post now. And I'm going to repeat this all the way around, and then after this round we want to do one more exactly the same. So you can see now it's starting to take shape and form that basket weave. I just really love this stitch. I love this yarn. The stitch definition is amazing. Look at that. Woo! So pause the video and I will see you when we finish this round plus the next one. This is what mine is looking like. Looking very awesome. So the 6 rows make up the pattern, even though you can really finish at 3 rows. Like if you wanted to add another 3 rows, you could totally do that. Do you know what I mean? So this is the pattern because you need the opposites. So you need like front post block, a back post block. They're the 6 rows that do make up the pattern. But if you wanted to make a headband, if you added another repeat of the 3, so the next one, so we've got front post there, the next one would be a block of back post and then front post, you know what I mean, like another section of these 3. You could totally finish the headband there if you wanted to. And same goes with the hat, like it doesn't really matter. As long as you're just keeping it in blocks of 3 when you finish off. Like you don't want to finish off, like you don't want to do one more round because it's going to look weird. Hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But I just think that would look a bit kind of different. Weird. So, if you want to make your headband now, this would make a really cute baby headband. Work 1 round of single crochet to match the bottom down here. And you'll just do a chain 1, wherever we are. Here, chain 1 and single crochet in every single stitch, and then slip stitch to join at the end. And then you have a baby headband. For an adult headband, this is 8-ply double knit or number 3 yarn. And for my headband that I made a while ago, which I cannot find, I made it like a year ago, I did 1 more repeat and then did my single crochet around. I just wanted a narrow headband, but these would look awesome as headbands. It's like 38 degrees here right now, so I'm not thinking winter, but definitely whip some of these up for winter. I love headbands, keep my ears warm and hair out of my face. So for the hat, there are varying heights, obviously, if you're making a different size. For the baby, you're going to go until your section is about 10 centimeters tall. I think this is only about 5 at the moment. Five and a half at the moment. So you want to keep going till it's about 10. If you want to make it for a baby, it's 10 centimeters. And if you're making it for a child, I would recommend 12 centimeters. And if you're making it for an adult, I would recommend 14 centimeters before we start doing our decrease section. So the sides of the hat are obviously just all like that. And then we're going to make our decrease section. That way you can see it better. Yeah, we're going to do our decrease section. So, like I said, just repeat this. Oh, and also it doesn't matter what section you finish off. So if you finish off and you've got your front posts, where's the start? If you're starting with back posts or front posts, it doesn't matter when we do our decreasing, because I'm going to show you to do it either way, because you will have different finishing points depending on yarn, depending what size you're making, etc. So just repeat the last 6 rows until we have the height that we need. And I know it sounds like a lot, but the 6 rows are really easy. Like, you only have, after you've done your 3 on that 4th row, you're just swapping over to the opposite and then continuing on. Pause the video and I'll see you there. Yarn donut. Once you have the height that you need, and I have realized that this is shrinking a little bit because of the stitches that we're using, so I'm going to put an adjustment. You would have already seen the adjustment that I'll put on the screen when I tell you to do your chains, and because it actually shrinks. So this is probably going to fit a newborn, where I thought it might fit a 2 to 3 month old, but the front posts or the post stitches seem to make it shrink a little bit. So that's something that I've learned today. And I'm sure I already knew that, but probably forgot about it. Which end do I start? This end. Ugh. Alrighty, so once you've got your height that you need, mine is roughly about 10 centimeters, which is what, 4 inches? Yep. It's a little bit shorter than that, but that's okay. I don't want to make it too much longer, because otherwise it's going to be too long for a baby. And we're going to start our decreasing section. Now, you may be in a different position than what I am. So my very first stitches of the round are back post stitches here, so that means they're going to be front post stitches on the next round. But you could be in a different starting position, so you may have finished on a row which is down here, so then your next section is going to be back post stitches. Doesn't matter where we're starting on the next part, it's just your decreases will be slightly different. So our front post stitches are going to be worked just as a normal front post stitch, but when we get to a back post stitch, it's going to be a back post double crochet decrease. That's a mouthful. So I will be starting with my front post stitches, and then when I get to this section, I'm going to be doing my back post double crochet decrease. So if yours is here, just hang on a minute. So if your back post stitches are here, just hang on a minute until I get over there, and you'll see how to do the decrease. So we're going to chain 2. So I need to do front post in the next 4. Whoops. Now I'm going to do my back post stitches, because that's the next part of my pattern. And when we do our back post double crochet, it's going to be a decrease stitch. And I know that probably sounds confusing, but it's really not. It's just a double crochet decrease, which I'm sure most of us have worked, but we're just doing it a back post instead of going through the normal place. So we're going to do a yarn over, we're going to do a back post stitch. I'm going to pull through, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops on your crochet hook, hold those on there, yarn over, go around the next stitch for your back post, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches, or pull 2 loops, sorry, 3 loops on your crochet hook, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. So the next 2 stitches are going to do the same thing. Yarn over, do your back post part, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, keep those 2 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, go around the next stitch from the back, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, a yarn over, and pull through all 3. So that will seem familiar if you've done a double crochet decrease and it's just worked around the post instead of just normally through that top in that little hole there. That's the only difference. So our front post stitches are the same. So we're going to do front post, sorry, not the same, they are just normal, they're not the same as the decrease. So just work those as what we've been doing throughout the whole pattern. Our next ones are our, this is such a mouthful, oh, these are our back post double crochet decreases. So yarn over, I'll show you how to do these ones one more time. Yarn over, go around the back of your stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, keep those 2 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, go around the next one, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, put 3 in your crochet hook, and yarn over and pull through all 3. The next 2 stitches, yarn over around the back of the stitch, pull through, yarn over, go through 2 loops, leave those 2 stitches on your crochet hook, yarn over, go around the back, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then yarn over, pull through all 3. Then we're going to continue on working like this. So it's 4 front post stitches and then your back post decrease stitches. And gradually it'll start to get smaller because you can see here now we've only got 2 stitches in that section instead of 4. So repeat this all the way around and I will meet you when we are ready to join. Once we get to the end, we're going to join into the very first double crochet stitch. The next round of our pattern we're just going to work it normally, so you're going to do a front post stitch when you get to a front post and you're going to do a back post when you get to a back post. So on our front post sections you can see here there's 4 stitches, so you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. When you get to your back post stitches you're only going to need to do 2 back posts because there's only 2 stitches there. So I'll just show you that just in case you're not sure. So we're doing front post, and you may be on a back post. Like I said before, you may be starting in a different spot, but that's perfectly fine. You're just going to continue on in the pattern however you've got yours at the moment. So there's our front post stitches, and because we decreased those 4 stitches down to 2, we have 2 back posts, so we're going to go around that whole thing there. So we're coming around and going through, doing that again, going to the side, around, and we've got 2 back post stitches. And then do your front ones, and you're going to continue around working in this pattern, and then we're going to join at the end like we have been doing on each round, so I won't show you that in the next part of the video. So you can can see there you've got your 4 stitches and then you've got 2 there. Continue around, pause the video, and I'll see you when we're ready for the next round. And now our front post stitches are going to be our decrease stitches. We're going to swap it around. So for me, this is the first section of front post, but your first section may be back post, like I said before. But just whenever you get to your front post, this is what you're going to do. Your back post is just going to be just normal. But I need to work one more round of front post stitches here because I've got mine 2. I need to do 3 altogether. So chain 2. And our front post is our decrease. So it's yarning over. Don't forget to grab both stitches there. Pull up. 3 loops. Pull through 2 loops. Keep them on there. Yarn over. Go around the front one. Pull up. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. You've got 3 on the crochet hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And do that again. Around the front, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over, around the next front post. I'm going quite fast because you know how to do the front post bit because you've just done it hundreds of times. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 on the crochet hook, and yarn over and pull through all 3. So like I said, your back post stitches are just the same. So we'll get those worked. When I say just the same, I mean same as what we did previous row. Again, you've got your front post stitches here, and this is where we're going to work our decrease. Yarn over, go around the front, pull through 2, yarn over, around the front, pull up a loop, pull through 2, you've got 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. And we're going to continue this around for this round. Oh, see, I shouldn't talk and do stuff, should I? I'll do that off screen. So we're going to complete this around doing our front post decreases, and then your back posts are just normal back posts. So on our next round, we are just going to do a normal round. So that's working the back post stitches as back post stitches and our front posts as just normal front post stitches. So after you've completed this round, which is our decrease round, the next round is just a normal round. And let me just double check. Yeah, our next round after this one is when we swap over and to create our basket weave pattern. Because we have 1, 2, 3 lots of post stitches. So this is our last round of decrease in this way, and then we're going to swap over and change it up to create our basket weave pattern. So I will meet you at the end of the next round, because the next round's just, you know what to do. So pause the video and I'll see you there. Once we finish that round, it's getting smaller at the top there. Of course, you may have an adult size, so it may not be as small, but it will start to cinch in pretty quick. What are you doing? Get over there. So this round is going to be our back post double crochets are going to be our decreases for this one. So you already know how to do this. So what am I up to? My back posts are now my first stitches, so I'm going to do a back post, but these are going to be a decrease. So pull through, got 2 loops on your crochet hook, yarn over. Ooh, what am I doing? Back post. It is really hot here today. It's like 40 odd degrees. That's about 107-ish Fahrenheit. Yeah, it's a bit warm. So that one now, these 2 stitches are now decreased into 1 stitch. So our front post double crochets are also worked as a decrease. Did I say that before? I don't know. It is so hot here today, it's crazy. So this round is our decrease round, and it's going to decrease pretty quick because these front posts are now going to be decreased as well. So front post. My fingers are sweating, I'm that hot. Get on there. There we go. Pull through all 3. Again, our back posts are going to get decreased. And then our front posts are going to get decreased. And we're going to work around like this the whole way. So you can see there it's decreasing quite fast. And we're going to work this around the whole way. And our next round, after we've completed this decrease round, our next round is just worked as normal, so there's no decreasing. But what you will have is, as you can see here, you'll have 1 front post stitch, 1 back post stitch, 1 front post stitch, 1 back post stitch. So it's going to be our last round, and then after that we're going to finish it off. We'll complete this decrease round, and then we'll work 1 round as normal. So pause the video and I'll see you in just a minute. Once we get to the ends, we are going to have a reasonably small hole, and if you don't and you want to decrease it more, then work, you know how you're working your decrease stitches, you could work another round of those if you like. We are going to cut off our yarn, leave a reasonable amount so that we can finish off. Pull that through the loop. Pull that snug, and we're going to thread our needle. I changed my needle up. I don't know if you've watched the recent videos. I was using that red one and it kept getting stuck in everything. Alrighty, so we're just going to weave it in and out of the stitches that we have here. And just weave it back to where you finished off. This would look really cute with a pom-pom on top. I don't like to put pom-poms on baby things, but this would look so cute. So we're going to pull to tighten that up. Pop our needle through to the other side. Pull it snug again, and we're going to tie it off. We're going to go through some yarn, through a stitch, sorry. Doesn't matter where, just anywhere. Go back in there. And then before we pull that shut, we're going to put our needle through the loop and then just pull that, and you can see that that's getting trapped in there, and that will make a knot for you. Do that again. What this will do is just stop that gathering coming undone at the top. And let's put a third one in for good luck. And then you can just sew in your ends. So this is the back of the hat, so you can just pick anywhere really. As long as the loops are on this side of your work, you don't want to crochet this, sorry, you don't want to stitch through to the crochet that's on the other side. You just want to pick up the loops on the back of the work here. I'm literally just going anywhere. I'm being carefree, don't worry where the needle goes. Just putting it in there and going for it. So trim that off. I always just trim a little bit so that when you wash it, it'll just disappear into your work. It looks like a worm. So that's done. This is, what's this one? Oh, that's where that was my fault. So I need to sew those in too. And then this one here is your beginning thread. Oh, you can work more rounds of single crochet if you want to around the edging. And you could definitely crochet over this strand. Going to just weave this through the stitches. It's getting windy out there. We're supposed to be getting a 10-degree drop in temperature today, so that'll be very nice. And I think we're supposed to get a storm too, so I'm trying to film before thunder and lightning. And pull that through. I'll fix those later. What's that? That's an end. Oh my goodness, that is so cute. Get in there. That is so cute. I really hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. I had a lot of fun making it, and that's just adorable. Let me know what size you have used. I would really like to know, and what colour you have made yours. All the links for this yarn will be in the description box of this video. I really recommend it. It's lovely and soft and so squishy. It's going to be great for winter. Share your creations on Instagram by tagging me. Share them on Facebook so everybody can see them. Thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, happy crochet. A little bit of fluff on that one. Still didn't get it. What have I done there? I don't even know what I've done. Oh dear. Edit that bit back until we've got 2 back posts.